Hey people, it's Anthony 4x4 Diesel. Quick video on why most manufacturers like Toyota don't install catch cans. No, I'm just joking, it's not that actually. It's something back to basics, really simple to do with something that's really annoying to everybody at some stage, and vibration or shaking in the steering. There's a couple of different causes. That's why we're having a look at the steering wheel at this stage. So when this thing, wobbles around, there's a few different wobbles, so maybe I'm going to demonstrate those. And then we might change the view to a tyre because it's all related around the tyres and the brakes. So I'm going to try and wrap it up within 5 or 10 minutes, keep it really simple and try and explain to you what those causes are and how you can resolve those. So firstly, let's do the vibration in the steering when you're not applying the brakes. And it's important to, be able to differentiate between the two. So if you've got the brake on and you haven't, it's two different things. So without the brake, if you've got vibrating in the steering, sometimes you get a wobbles like this, stuff like that, things like that going on. So if it's a sort of vibration at 100 k's, quite often the typical reason why that would happen is your wheel balance is out. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? Your wheels just need to be balanced. That's the most common one. You can have a bad tire, you can have a bad wheel. Sometimes people have got cheap El Cheapo Chinese made budget wheels, you know what I mean? Sunrages or something people refer to them as. Anyway, the best wheels, of course, are your brand new, genuine, really strong Toyota wheels, like all the other genuine Toyota parts. You brought a Toyota, you want to keep the feeling, then keep the car the way it was as much as you can, okay? So pretty much covers that. So if you've got decent wheels, decent tires, of course you can have other issues, I don't know, I guess wheel bearings, loose wheel nuts, stuff like that. So always check the basics first. But the biggest cause of vibration would be somebody hasn't balanced it right, really. It probably happens to you more often, doesn't it? After you just got your tyres rotated and balanced or the car serviced, then at some point later, you notice you got this shaking in the steering because it was probably good the way it was before, unless you hit a really big pothole. You know how hard it is to put a wheel out of balance on a four-wheel drive and how much it has to be out to actually notice it. When you've got such big wheels and tyres and stuff, they can be out 5, 10, 15, 20. You won't even notice it, We're in a small, more like a sports car type thing, 17, 18, 19, 20-inch wheels, whatever, with low-profile tyres. It can be 5, 10 grams out, and you'll be able to I can just pick which wheel it is, it's the left front or the right front, because you can obviously understand the difference there. These are big, chunky tyres. I mean, they're a big tire. I mean, the wheel, look how much rubber you've got. So you can whack a pothole, you can hit a gutter. Generally, you're not going to damage your rim. You're not going to damage your strong Toyota rim like what we've got right there. You're not going to damage your KO2s. They can take a fair bit of punishment. It's just those synthetic punches, those nails that are lying around, those thread taps, those pieces of fencing wire and stuff like that get into your rubber. So wheel balance, it's as simple as that. But if you've got that aftermarket stuff, you could have a bad tire, you could even have a KO2 that's hard to balance. A lot of people who balance them say they can be difficult to balance, so maybe they are, but isn't that why you get good wheel balances? And shouldn't it just tell you where it needs the weight and you stick the weight on in the right spot? And if you do that, then shouldn't that offset on, as bad as a tire might be, whatever make, model, brand, shouldn't, if there's an extra rubber at one side and it's heavy or whatever's happened, isn't that the whole point of balancing them? So I don't know why it's hard, but anyway, I haven't balanced wheels for years. When I balanced wheels, I didn't have a problem, but what I noticed other people's problem was they'd turn the wheel, they'd spin it and then they bring it up to the top and they'd spin their head around upside down, back to front, inside out. And when they stuck the weight on, it'd be over here a bit instead of directly at the top. So that's what I think happens a lot anyway. And of course, sometimes when they need a lot of weight, they spread the weight out too much instead of stacking it up in the right spot, or it's too far backwards, forwards, whatever. There's all these variables anyway. I'm not the expert at it, so I'll stop talking about it. But quite simply, get your wheels balanced is your vibration in your steering. And if you've done that, don't trust that it's been done right. Maybe you need to get it done again or go somewhere else, because that is the cause, especially if you've got genuine wheels and some good tires. If you want to eliminate that, you can try some different wheels and tires, There'd be a lot of mucking around. That's why it's better just to stick with the genuine wheels. And I just want to thank everybody for all the genuine wheels that they've sold to everybody cheap, for the people that listen to me that have got their second set of cheap, strong wheels. Awesome. And we're sorry you've ended up with that El Cheapo, not the best quality wheels on your car, but we can sell them back to you at a reasonable price, not as cheap as what you gave them away. But anyway, you get that. Anyway, you got to have a bit of a laugh, don't you? So in fairness, I've been saying for a long time that genuine wheels are the best and don't change them. The genuine alloy wheels, they're really strong. They're stronger than those steel ones. People go, oh, but you can repair the steel ones. What I'll say is, well, you will need to repair them because they get bent and you'll need to repair them. The alloys, you might not be able to repair them on the side of the track, but they don't get bent, so we don't care, right? Anyway, whatever, it's a whole nother story. It's in the Wheels and Tyres playlist. It's all about the playlists, okay? 4x4 Diesel, go to your subscriptions, because you should be subscribing on your YouTube, you know, your little YouTube, and go subscriptions, oh yeah, 4x4 Diesel, click that, it'll open up a page and you'll find our playlists, and you can go through those and work out what you need to see. The reason I'm doing this video, I had someone text me this morning about brake problems and vibrations in the steering off the brakes and then again on the brakes, so I thought, so I sent him the 2 playlists, and he said, oh yeah, watched all of those. I'm thinking, really? So from watching all of those, I didn't explain this already? It doesn't make sense. I thought we'll just do it again. Let me know in the comments. Is he wasting my time? Is it all in there? Do you already know this? I've already told you about this. Or did I need to do it again? Because it's a serious question I need to know, because I would have thought we covered that. But anyway, so that covers the not on the brakes, right? So then you've got another one when you put your foot on the brake, okay? So when you put your foot on the brake and you're steering, you know, if you're at slow speed, you might just get a bit of a, you know, you just feel, if it's soft braking, you might just feel, it's called brake pulsation. The brakes are pulsating or shuddering through the brakes or the steering. If it's your front brakes, generally you might get a shake or a wobble in your front. And if you touch the brakes at 100 Ks, this is where you got to know the difference between on and off the brakes. Because at 100 Ks is where you're going to get your worst vibration. Don't worry about why, but that's what it is. It's about 100 Ks in most cars, your worst vibration from wheel balance. But also if you're on 100k freeway and then you're turning off and you do it the right way, and you sort of need to use your brakes a bit here, because you don't want to hit the brakes early and hold up all the cars doing 100k's, because you've got to slow down to 30, 40, 50, 60, depends what the corner or the bend is, right? And you're holding everyone up, so you sort of get off into the turning lane and then you're on the brakes and all of a sudden, like that. That's really bad brake pulsation, which is actually disc thickness variation, which means you need to machine your rotors, or the easy, cheap way to do it. Once again, everybody knows what I'm going to say, lsiauto.com.au, and use our discount code 4B4-2023 to get your extra discount, because that's who we've been getting the oil filters off them. They do brakes as well. It's good value, genuine Toyota pads. You know, you can use those. They're cheaper. You can try the horsepower pads. We got them in this Hilux here. I don't have any issue with them at all. No squealing so far. A bit of feedback for you. What has it been? 6 months or something? I don't have any issues with them so far. Maybe they took a bit more bedding in than what the genuine stuff do and stuff like that, maybe. Because at the start I was thinking, I'm not sure about these, but at the moment I drive it and it drives just the same as the 120 that's got the horsepower rotors and the genuine pads, and they don't make any noise either. So a bit of feedback in the video. That's why you just sort of watch, subscribe, stick in the video. There's still more information yet. So that covers your front, and I've got a video there actually where we can sort of demonstrate the shaking in the steering on a really bad one, 300,000k Prado. So it is odd to have it at low kilometers. Usually you're going to get it later, or it is rare, you know, but as soon as you've got a little bit of run out in the rotor, it just gets worse in service. That doesn't mean when you're getting an oil and filter change and your car checked over in a workshop getting a service. I mean, in services in using the brakes, pressing the brake pedal, that's service, you know, while you're using them, it gets worse, right? So you started with something, it's a snowball factor, right? It's just going to get worse, and eventually you need to do something about it. Otherwise your braking's not smooth, and it can be dangerous, because do you think you've got maximum stopping availability? What's the word? Do you know what I mean? If it's sort of not smooth, you know, there's chance that the brakes are going to lock up sooner. It's not smooth for the driver or the occupants of the vehicle or any other component, suspension, or that sort of thing, right? So safety, you do want smooth braking. So you can machine the discs on car machine. You can get someone to come out for, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks or something like that for a couple of rotors. You jack up the car, take the wheels off, and they'll give those a skim for you. So what's that, about 30 bucks a side? Or you can just go on LSI Auto, and for about 50 bucks, you just get brand new rotors and put them on yourself. You know the job's done right. Follow the videos in the brakes playlist about cleaning the hubs and stuff like that. Get all that rust off. Take your time. It's not a slap bang job. And if it breaks, matter of life and death. So if you don't know what you're doing, if you haven't watched enough videos on our channel and all the other ones you watch, or whatever, wherever you got your education from, then don't touch it. Now, if you've got a pulsation feeling and it's more seat of your pants, that's why we're sort of, you know, here in the vehicle here. I don't smoke, but somebody did, right? But it's more seat of your pants, where you put your foot on the brake and you sort of feel the car going like that from the seat of your pants, rather than a shaking in the steering, there's a good chance it can be the rear, and it's quite common in the Prados that it's the rear brakes. So hopefully this video helps, because I think it has. I think it's just given a really good education of the difference and the problems with the vibrations between the wheels, the wheel balance, the braking, what's the front, what's the rear. If you're not sure, just do both. Like I said, the rotors off LSI, they're about 50 to 60 bucks each, depending whether it's your Prado or your Hilux. Awesome value for money. You don't need slots, you don't need drills, you don't need anything fancy. To be quite honest, that just causes more problems if it does come to machining. Now that we've got some rotors without that, maybe we'll consider machining, but the problem these days is getting someone to do the job right and all that, and booking in again and all that, where, you know what, you just get another set of rotors and bada bing, bada boom. You might keep your old ones as spares. You might take those to someone if you know someone with a machine, and they can machine them, you know, cheap, you know, on the machine off the car, and keep those as spares. But who knows? Anyway, that's the video, people. Hopefully that explains everything. I'll put this one into the wheels and tires playlist and the brakes playlist. That's what I do. And bada bing, bada boom. We'll catch you on the next video. I'll be looking in the comments. Let me know. Did you know all this already from my playlists, wheels and tires or brakes? Did you know it anyway in general? Or did you not know this and it's something we haven't really covered before? All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.